This is Shine Valentine back today again with a new episode. Today's episode, I want to tell women, while you're going around bragging about your boyfriend, he might be telling his friends about the things that you two do privately, if you get my drift. And excuse me if you hear any talking in the background. I'm outside, even though it's cold outside. But anyway... So what am I talking about? So women, of course, some women have a habit of when they first meet a guy, especially if they think he's a good guy, when they, even if they've been with a guy for a long time, they think he's a great guy, they tend to want to keep, want to talk about this dude and how great of a guy he is. Now me, I'm more, I don't keep talking about my boyfriend all the time. And I'm more likely to tell you the good and the bad about him if I talk about him. I'm more realistic, and I don't like talking about my boyfriend 24/7. I just rather hang out when I enjoy hanging out with him, but I don't need to tell other people about him constantly. I bring him up, but I don't bring him up obsessively because, first of all, I'm not going to make a fool out of myself. Second of all, you don't need to hear so much about him because then I've had women ask me, what is his name, and try to look him up on Facebook. Like women, they get obsessed with your dude. So I as a 34-year-old woman, I've already been through a lot of situations with women and different and how they operate, and I know things that I don't like, and I don't like when someone talks about their boyfriend the whole damn conversation. So I don't do stuff like that, and there's nothing for me to talk about. I'm in a happy relationship. And that's it. I don't need to, when I'm hanging out with my friend, I want to talk about stuff that we have in common and do things with her and enjoy her company. I don't need to sit and now if I'm going through things with my boyfriend, I don't mind talking about it, but that's not the focal point. So anyway, women like to brag about their dudes. So what I want to tell you ladies is that men don't really brag on you per se. This is some men. So there are some men out here, their way of bragging on you is basically showing you off, like showing you to his friends, bringing you around his friends. And also their way of bragging is to tell people what you do sexually. I don't know if you notice about men, and you might think this is so, fucked up, and why do they do this? I'm telling you, I've seen this multiple times. Men telling other men what you do in the bedroom. I've seen men do this to their girlfriend and to their wives, because a lot of times women, we think, if I'm his girlfriend or his wife, he respects me, he wouldn't tell people what we do sexually. That is a goddamn lie, because the reason why he tells people is because he's excited. He's excited about this, you guys' sexual interactions, so he tells. Just like ladies, if a guy bought you a Porsche, or if he put a huge down payment on your condo or something, I don't know, just think about something, or he took you shopping and spent like $3,000 on you, you'll probably be kind of excited, and you probably might end up telling somebody, because that's something that you value, I guess, in him, what he can do for you financially. So you might go tell a tale. Even though nobody don't give a damn, you might do it. So let me get to the point. So I was at a couples event. A lot of things happened at this couples event, but one incident that happened was that it was a female there, a young female. She was talking about her boyfriend the whole time. Mind you, me and my boyfriend went to pick up her and her boyfriend, and then we went to a friend's house where they was having a couples party at his house. So all the men had their girlfriends there. And like I told you, I don't really like couples events. So at one point, they left me in a house with her. The other girl was in her room still getting ready, and I was in the living room left alone with this guy's girlfriend. So I was forced to make conversation with her, initiate the fucking conversation like I always have to do, because no one initiates it with me that much. And then the guys went outside to one of the male friends. He was pulling up, and they went outside to show him where to park. So literally, ladies, they were outside for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Within that 5 or 10 minutes, I find out later from my boyfriend that the young lady's boyfriend, and by the way, the young lady's boyfriend, I went to high school with him, so I know him pretty well. I don't talk to him currently, like I don't call him, I don't have his phone number. We haven't communicated in years, but I've been around him a lot, when I was younger, so I kind of know his personality. So, and I'm saying this to say, during the event, she was sitting there talking. Me and her was sitting at the table. She was talking about him the whole time, saying how he's a great guy, that he does her help. He does homework, makes sure her son does his homework. Talking about she cooks for him in the morning. Then afterwards, she smokes weed. Talking about he's a real one, he's a good one right there and all that. I'm just like, would you shut the fuck up? And I'm like, well, I know him from high school. Yeah, he's a good dude. And then she was looking at me like I was crazy because I said this. I'm like, oh shit, I shouldn't even said nothing. I shouldn't even say I knew the dude. Well, y'all went to high school, right? So I do know him, so I was just like, okay, all this girl was fucking talking about. So she's talking about things about him on that level, like, oh, he go over my son's homework, he's a good guy, blah blah blah. Okay, fine. You want to know what he said about her? He told that 5 or 10 minutes they were outside. Now his way of showing, showing that she's a good one is that he brought her, so he likes how she looks. And number two, he told them that he can get her to do anything. She does. He didn't say she does what he tell him to do. He said basically, I can get her to do whatever I want her to do, and she do everything sexually I want. And he actually went into details. I was told of the sexual acts that she doesn't mind participating in. And you know what probably some of those are. And I don't mean to be graphic, but you know what some of those are. Probably anal, swallowing. I mean, I'm just throwing it. My boyfriend wouldn't go into details and tell me. I don't know why. He was holding information. He told me that much, keep talking. But he didn't want to tell. He said he didn't want to repeat the stuff that the dude said. But yeah, the dude basically said that, he could get her to do whatever. And that she does, whatever he wants sexually. She's down for whatever sexually. Now, ladies, I want to ask you, if a man says this about you, would you be offended that he's telling his friends this? Now, you might say, why would a dude, quote unquote, disrespect his girlfriend and wife by doing this? In their mind, they don't look at it as being disrespectful. To them, they're excited that they found the woman that they find that's pretty, that's willing to do whatever they tell her to do and to do whatever they want sexually. So for them, it's not an insult. Just like, let's just say, a man was to buy you a lot of things and spend a lot of money on you, you probably would, you probably would go and tell people, oh, he did this for me, he did that for me, and nobody gives a damn, but you would be excited probably, and that's why you would run and tell it, right? So men get excited over this. And you need to know something, ladies. You might think, well, my guy would never go and tell his friends about what I do sexually, and and women think if they're the wife or the girlfriend, the guy has more respect for them than to tell their friends about what sexual acts are going down. That's not true. I'm not saying every guy does this, because that's not true. Every guy doesn't do this, but it's a lot that does. They do two things a lot of times men do. They like to tell their friends what woman they've slept with. So if you out and about and you and this guy had a one night stand, he'll be like, yeah, he'll tell his friend, yeah, I fucked her. Excuse my language, I fucked her. Or he might even go into details of what y'all did sexually. Just notice, ladies. So ladies, never do anything sexually that you don't mind getting repeated, or you don't mind people knowing that you do. Whatever you do, be proud of it, and whatever you do, don't shy away from. Say, yeah, I do that and I enjoy it. And don't get your feelings hurt if he told people, because it's you probably had at least one guy in your life that told what y'all was doing sexually. At least one. Because this is what dudes do. I find it very damn disrespectful. Okay, because they won't want nobody going around saying, yeah, he trick off of me all the time. He's always buying me shoes, clothes. He put a down payment on my vehicle. He bought me this. They don't want to be seen off like, they don't want to come off as a trick off dude, but yet they can go tell people what you're doing sexually. But this is what he did to this young lady, and he seems to really like her. But my thing was, why are you talking about that? That's intimate things between you two that you shouldn't be spreading. But then the whole night, she was all over him on the couch. They was all over each other, rather, on the couch. Back then, about the fuck. So I guess they a different kind of couple. I mean, but I think she'll be a little bit upset. I know she'll be upset that he wouldn't told them that. And for me, that was the reason why that kind of bothered me. It was a touchy subject for me, because something like that happened to me when I was younger. So, okay, I'm 34, but at the time I was dating when I was 19, I dated a guy that was 25, so he was considered older than me. Now, the couple that I just talked about, that guy is 34 and his girlfriend's 21. It's a fairly big age gap. So, yeah. And he, like I said, he said to the male friends, he didn't say it to me, but he said it to our male friends, that I can get her to do whatever I want her to do, and she do anything sexually that I tell her to do. Okay, and that's what he says he likes about her. Also, he met her at a warehouse job, and I'm bringing it up there's a warehouse because usually warehouses have a lot of people there. And he met her there, and he also told them when he was outside, when she wasn't around, where the women couldn't hear them talk, that he met her at a warehouse and that he slept with a lot of women there. He had intercourse with a significant amount of women at that job, but I guess he picked her because she was younger, and she, by her being younger, I guess in his mind, he could get her to do whatever he wanted her to do, and she was down for whatever sexually. But honestly, if she was his age and she was down for whatever sexually, and he could get her to do whatever, the age probably wouldn't even matter. She just happens to be 21 or whatever. So this was a sore spot for me because something like this happened to me. So when I was 19 and I was dating a guy that was 25, this really happened. This is crazy. We were having problems or whatever, and one day he called me. He just called me randomly, asked me what I'm up to. And so we talked, and he hung up the phone, but he actually, the dumb bastard did not know he didn't hang up the phone all the way. So when he clicked off, something happened where I could hear his whole conversation. This really happened to everybody. So I'm like, hello, and I could hear him talking. So at the time he had a van, I think. He had a van, but I don't know if he was sitting in his van or he was at someone's home, but it was a group of people with him because I could hear him talking to people, like 2 or 3 people. And he was talking about me, everybody. Yeah, this is hard for me to talk about this, but he was talking about me. And he didn't say nothing sexual, but what he said was, I'm listening to this conversation for like 15 minutes. This stupid motherfucker did not realize that he did not click off his phone. So I'm saying hello, and I just hear him talking, and this is what he says, everyone. He says, yeah, I'm talking to an 18-year-old now, a 19-year-old right now. Either I was 18 or 19. I was just turning 19. When he met me, I was 18 turning 19, I think. Or 9, yeah. So he said, I'm talking to, I think he said 19. I think I was 19 by that time. He said, I'm talking to a 19-year-old right now. He was like, man, anybody can get into her head. Anybody can get into her head. I remember that shit stuck in my head, him saying that for a long time. And I never confronted him because we ended up breaking up soon after, but it was something that I had a hard time processing because I couldn't believe he said that about me, and I didn't understand. I was trying to. I stayed on the phone long enough to try to hear what he meant. You could get in my head in what way, but he never went into details with this group of people. But probably by the time he probably did later on in the conversation, but I eventually just hung up the phone. And I kept saying hello, let him know I was hearing what he was saying, but the dumbass couldn't hear me. So I just kept hearing him say, yeah, she's, anybody can get into her head. He's like, man, I'm talking to this 19-year-old, anybody can get into her head. And that shit really crushed me. That I felt that he thought that about me, that he's basically saying I'm fucking stupid. And he's saying I'm stupid based upon the fact of me being younger than him. And the fact that he thought he could get into my head for reasons why I don't know. We didn't do nothing out of the ordinary. There wasn't nothing going on that he was getting over on. He did. I ain't gonna lie. He tried to do some things to try to get over on me, and he did do some things to get over on me. But the shit got nipped in the bud once I figured out what was going on. But yeah, initially I didn't know what was going on with him because I didn't know. If someone's playing games with you, you're not thinking. You going to, with me, I always went to a relationship with a pure heart. So if I like the guy, we're getting along, I'm not thinking this person has another woman or he's trying to play mind games. I'm not really with all that. I'm more direct. And see, a lot of times with me, relationships, I trick a guy because I'm so nice and accommodating at first. But once I see that you ain't shit, I turn on you. And I can break up with you like that. Like, okay, it's over. That's what I did to him. I don't want to be with you no more. And he lost it. So because he thought I did a 360, and I didn't do a 360. It's just that I treated you with respect. You disrespected me, so now you gotta go. And all that lovey-dovey shit that I was bringing to the table, I'm withdrawing it now. You don't deserve it. You ain't shit. So flashback to now, when I found out what he said about her. I would never tell her what he said, but it kind of struck a nerve in me because I don't know if she would be offended that he went around. Ladies, would you be offended if your dude told his friends that you do everything sexually and he goes and he tells them what you do, and that he said he can get you to do whatever? How would you feel about that? Because I'm saying for me, I'm not telling anybody else how to feel. For me, that will hurt my feelings. Because what we do in the bedroom, you shouldn't be going around telling people. And then when you say you can get anybody to do what you want them to do, you're basically saying that the person's stupid. and that you have control over them, and that they're dumb. They don't have a mind of their own. Nothing to do said about me. I found out that he hung out with my brother's friend, because he was around my brother's age, one of my brothers. And he told my brother's friend that the reason why me and him get along so well is because I don't give him no back talk. So this dude was going around saying a lot of fucked up shit about me. Okay, and to people that it could get back to me. And he thought, and this individual thought nothing was going to happen. He thought I was going to let this shit slide. So that's kind of why now I'm more in relationships. I'm a little bit different. And this is why women do end up becoming bitches and bitter and going off on dudes that they meet because of men like him. Because they fuck you up in the head to the point where now you feel like, okay, I'm not going to allow another man to disrespect me like this. So if I even think you coming at me foul, I'm attacking you. And that's why sometimes I have to not be so aggressive, and I'm very feminine, but it's that side of me that come out that thinks, okay, you're trying to make a fool out of me because of what I've been through. And so I try not to, I try to say, no, that was him. But the fact that he disrespected me like that, and then I see now, fast forward to this young lady and my friend, how he's telling our friends that, he can do whatever he wants to her, talking about the sexual shit. To me, he's making, you shouldn't, that's disrespectful to talk about her in that matter. You don't do shit like that. Then if one of your friends tried to sleep with her because of all the shit you saying that she want to do, then you'll be mad. They do stuff like that. And another thing too, I remember my boyfriend, he went to an event, and this is a true story. He was doing he went to an event, and at this event it was another guy there that he knew, and this one guy was performing. My boyfriend went to a comedy show, and this one guy was there, and he was a comedian, and he was about to perform. This one guy's about, I'm not kidding you, like 400 pounds, and he's real tall and real fat. And his wife came to the comedy show, but she wasn't fixed up. Now, his wife looks better than him, but she still isn't the hottest thing smoking. But keep this in mind, she looks better than him. She came to the comedy show and kept calling his name. She's like, let's say his name is John. And he kept ignoring her. And she looked pretty bad. My boyfriend said her hair was all over her head. She wasn't fixed up. So the guy was embarrassed. So you want to know, he said to my boyfriend, he says, yeah, only reason I'm with her because, she do everything on the stun. She do anal, she swallow, she do all that. This is a true story, everybody. This 400-pound bag of slop felt embarrassed by his wife, who at that moment was on his level physically, but once she fixed up, she looks better than him. But at the same time, she looks better than him. His wife is maybe like 200, maybe 100, maybe 200 pounds. This man is 400 pounds. This man is twice her size. She looks better than him, but yet he's gonna sit up there because she came to the show not all that fixed up, pretty much looking on his damn level. He was embarrassed by her, so he tells my boyfriend, yeah, the only reason I meant, he's like, yeah, the only reason I'm with her because she do everything sexually, she do anal, she swallow, she do whatever. And he looked humiliated that she came out looking like that. Now, yeah, she should have fixed herself up. But sir, you are 400 pounds. You should be happy to have anybody. And even if she's not fixed up, she still fucking looks better than you. And so I guess he felt she humiliated him by coming out there looking busted. But then he decided to humiliate her back by going and telling my boyfriend that this girl does anal. And that's the only reason he's with her, and that she does anything under the sun sexually. So ladies, I'm warning you. This is not the only men and even with my ex-boyfriend, I remember him coming home one time and telling me that he told one of his friends, like, yeah, because me and him was friends first too, and he said he told a guy at work that, yeah, I'm with one of my friends, and the sex is really good, or being with her is really great because we were friends first. And everyone, he might have went into extreme details sexually, but for him to even say that sex good and all that, who knows what else the fuck he said about me. So I'm telling you, ladies, for the ladies who's out here talking about, most women don't brag about the sex usually to their female friends. Most women, okay, when they have a boyfriend or a husband, they don't tell their female friends about what he does sexually. A lot of times they don't. They brag about everything but the sex. Ladies, I'm telling you right now, that's fine and dandy, but dudes are the opposite. They're not bragging about your cooking. They ain't bragging about none of that. They bragging about, they gonna show you off so everybody can see how beautiful you are, and they're gonna talk about, some of the guys are gonna talk about what you're doing in the bedroom. I'm telling you, because they get excited over stuff like that, and that's what your value to them is basically how you look and what you're doing in the bedroom and how open you are. Okay, so for you women who be going around bragging about your dude, you need to put we need to put a hidden camera on him, a voice recording, to see what he's really saying about you. We need to see what he's really saying about you. Okay, I'm just letting you know. And like I said, what he said about her, it didn't bother me. Okay, it bothered me because it gave me a flashback of when I was around that age and what the dude did to me. So I felt kind of bad for her, but at the same time, she might not care that he's going around saying what she's doing in the bedroom. I don't know, but most women I know, they don't like that information to get out. And I'm telling you, ladies, these dudes is going around talking about y'all the intimate stuff that's going down. Just letting you know. So for you women who like to brag about how great your dude is and how he's doing this and that, just know he might be telling your friends what you're doing in your private time. Have a nice day.